Hallo Deutschlerner! Welcome to yet another one of these live streams where I basically go through and answer any questions that you guys may have from either the comments section of other videos or the comments underneath this video or a bunch of other things. And today is a slightly special one because today is, of course, April Fool's Day, also known as the 1st of April. And as a result, I have some cheesy jokes to share with you. So yeah, you get to see the dad joke side of me. Just a little crooked. There we go. So anyway, we're going to do some kidding around and some jokes and stuff. But the very first thing that I have to do is click the little button over here. Where's the button? There we go. So this is my April Fool's live stream, and I would just like to point out one small thing about me being a fool in general, and that is, of course, that yeah, it says April Fools with an apostrophe S in it for some reason in the thumbnail for this live stream. And first of all, I'd like to apologize. That is not an April Fool's joke. It's just me not knowing what I'm doing and therefore putting an April Fool's apostrophe in there. If you're unaware, there is a website called the deppenapostrophe.info. So if you go to this website, it is deppenapostrophe.de. And it is a website that is dedicated to people improperly using apostrophes in the German language. Most of the time it's in German. There are a couple of examples in here in English for some reason, but you have examples here of like Doris. Doris Weltpart Lernpart. No, Doris Welt Lernpart. This thing. And it says Dories, which first of all is the pluralization of the name Dory, D-O-R-Y. If there were multiple Dories, that would be the way you would spell it, I guess. And then there's also an apostrophe and an extra S, none of which would actually happen in the German language, but it is an example of how dumb companies will do dumb things occasionally. But it is called deppenapostrophe.info and has a bunch of random stuff like Papa's Power Party, has a S at the end of Papa's and then also a apostrophe S for no apparent reason. Germans don't use an apostrophe for possession unless the name of the person possessing something ends with an S. So most of the time, no need for an apostrophe. And even then, we have examples like this one, which is action cameras and handys, neither of which are possessive at all. These are actually just plural forms of things and should just be an S. There's no reason for any of this to happen, but for whatever reason, the German fools are doing things like this. So, at any rate, I have this wonderful segue from going to this April Fool's live stream where I accidentally became the fool and put an apostrophe in there. So, you know, shame on me. At any rate, one of the things that I want to do today is share some puns with you, and the puns that we're going to be doing are, some of them are just stupid, and I felt like sharing them, but basically what I did was I Googled what are the best puns in the German language and came up with a bunch of random stuff, and then some of them require a little bit of either cultural background or grammatical background or even language building vocabulary type stuff in the background. And so I use those as jumping off points to kind of talk about German language skills and stuff like that. So the very first one that I have is just stupid, and I think it's funny because I'm cheesy like that. But wie viel wiegt ein Hipster? Which is how much does a hipster weigh? Wie viel wiegt ein Hipster? Of course, if we are using the metric system, they would of course weigh ein Instagram. They weigh 1 Instagram. It doesn't really need any explanation. It's just a stupid joke. And yeah, happy April Fool's Day. There's a stupid joke for you. The next one requires a little bit of thought and a little bit of German language knowledge, so I like this one for a couple of different reasons. But the first question here, or the second question I have for you is, Wo wohnen Katzen? Which is, where do cats live? Pretty straightforward thing. Obviously, they live in houses, or they live in apartments, or they live in wherever it is. The official answer to this question is, of course, im Mietshaus. If you don't understand this joke, just put a comment down below that you don't get it. That's fine. But basically, we have two things going on at the same time. Normally, the word Mietshaus is not spelled like this. Mieten is the verb to rent, M-I-E-T-E-N. So mieten is to rent. And if you rent an apartment, you live in a Mietshaus, M-I-E-T-S H-A-U-S, so Mietshaus. But there's also the word for cat in German. Whenever you're talking like Miets, 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 it's like the little cutesy name for a cat in German. It's like saying here kitty, 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 but in German. And that would make it a Mietshaus, of course, being a cat's house. It's a Mietshaus because it's got the meats in there. And it's not like Arby's, which also has the meats, but that's a different kind of meats. Anyway, you get the idea. It's im Mietshaus because Miets is another way of saying cat. So I think it's cute. I think it's funny. If you don't like it, you probably won't like the rest of these jokes either. Was sagt ein Pirat, wenn trockenes Gras sieht? What does a pirate say when he sees dry grass? Was sagt ein Pirat, wenn trockenes Gras sieht? That is the question, and I have another wonderfully AI-generated image here for the thing that we have. Yeah, the thing with the stuff. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so the image here. We're gonna go to the answer to the question: what does a pirate say when he sees dry grass? Ahoy! Okay, yeah, so this is basically the same type of stupid joke. If you don't know, there is the pirate greeting of ahoy, is what we say in English, and the German version is ahoy, which is very, very similar. Spelling is the same, and it actually shows up at the end of a Rammstein song. Trying to think of which Rammstein song it was now. Yeah. I don't remember now. High fish, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, it's at the end of a Rammstein song, which is ahoy, which is just ahoy. But the other part of this is that the word hoy is German for hay, as in the stuff that is basically just dry grass. It's a little bit more complicated than that. Hay is slightly different than just, you can't just cut down regular grass and call it hay. But if you do it right, hoy, ahoy, hay. Hooray for terrible jokes. This one's one of my favorites for several reasons. Number one, the picture is very, very AI generated in the way that it drew it, because I don't know where they came up with the idea that a Swiss man would look like this, but I basically just said, draw me a picture of a Swiss man in a sauna, and this is what I came up with. And I like this for a long list of reasons, but the number one reason is the flag in the background, just off to the side of his misshapen arm. That is not a Swiss flag. And that just makes me smile because AI is stupid. Anyway, so the question here is, wie spricht man in der Sauna? Which is, how does one speak in a sauna? Wie spricht man in einer Sauna? And the answer, of course, is Schweizerdeutsch. Schweizerdeutsch. Fun times all around. For those of you who don't know, Swiss German in German is Schweizerdeutsch, or Schweizerdeutsch if you want to be all high German on me, but Schweizerdeutsch is Swiss German. Schwitzen is the verb to sweat, so sweating German is Schweizerdeutsch, and we just kind of combine those two to end up with this wonderful little play on words. So hooray, more puns. Next up, we have Was macht ein Dieb im Zirkus? Which is, what does a thief do in the circus? I love how dumb this AI created image is. First of all, look at the fingers on his left hand. Can we zoom and enhance here? Let's see. Oh, there we go. We can zoom and enhance. Let's zoom in here, move over to this hand. What is going on with that hand? Why is that a thing? Who does this? AI is so dumb. That's what we're getting at. So first of all, that's obviously AI, but also we have a swag bag that literally just says swag on it. I don't know a whole lot of thieves, but the ones that I do know don't usually carry around their swag in a swag bag that literally says swag on the side of the bag. At any rate, the sentence here says, Was macht ein Dieb im Zirkus? Which is, what does a thief do in the, I almost said in the circus, in the circus. Yeah, it's way too late for this, and I have not had nearly enough coffee for this. But what does a thief do in the... See, I almost did it again. Circus. In the circus. What does a thief do in the circus? Can't speak. All right, anyway, so the question is, what does it do in the circus? And the obvious answer is clown. I know, it's dumb. But clown obviously is the word for clown. It's clown. But it's also the German word for, well, it's not really, but K-L-A-U-E-N is klauen. Klauen is the verb to steal. So if you like take something off of another person, that's klauen. But it's pronounced very, very similarly, there we go, English again, to the word for clown. So clown and klauen, very basic, dumb joke. So hooray. If you didn't like that one, here's another clown joke, so why not? Was macht ein Clown im Büro? What does a clown do in the office? Was macht ein Clown im Büro? And this one does require you more similar types of vocabulary knowledge, and that is faxen. Faxen is literally to fax. It's the verb to fax. So what does a clown do in the office? Fax, which sounds like it's not a joke, and that's because normally that would not be a joke. However, in German, if you say faxen machen, machen is the verb to make, and faxen is faxes, but faxen machen is a slang of sorts, kind of an idiomatic expression in German that is basically like making a fool of themselves or clowning around or pretty much being an idiot. So there's faxen machen, and that's what the clown, of course, is doing in the office because he is making a fool of himself because, of course, he's a clown. All right, this is the last one that I have for stupid jokes for tonight, and that is basically just filling out a form, and it says Name, Sebastian, and then it says Vorname, ich bin zu dämlich, Formulare auszufüllen, which is first name, you have name as the first blank there is just Sebastian, and then Vorname is German for first name, and it says I am too stupid to fill out formulas or forms. There we go, English. So I'm too stupid to fill out forms properly. For those of you who don't know, the reason that I picked this one is because it's a slight cultural thing, and that is if someone asks me what my name is, I'm probably going to answer Levi. Levi is my first name, and that's how people would know me. If someone says, hey, what's your name? I would say Levi. But if you say Name in German, they generally mean your last name, as in your family name, before they ask for your first name, which is a Vorname. And if they don't differentiate between Vorname and Nachname, but they just say Name, you're supposed to assume that that's your last name, generally speaking, with a few exceptions. Like if you're introducing yourself to someone else, obviously you wouldn't necessarily lead with your last name unless it's like Bond, James Bond. But generally speaking, in German, you're going to say your last name whenever filling out a form of some sort. So this is just a stupid joke of my name is Sebastian and my first name is I'm too stupid to fill out a formula. So there's my my dumb jokes for the day. I hope you enjoy them. That's all I've really got is just these dumb jokes. And then hopefully we'll move over here to some comments and conversation starters and see what yeah, see what you got going on in the comments. If you got questions about the German language, if you got questions about me, questions about what I do, what's going on in my world, or if you want to know, you just want to share with me about what it is that you're doing with your German learning stuff, let me know. And yeah, just leave it in the comments down below, and we'll yeah, go through and talk about all of the things that need to be talked about. What's going on here? Sorry, there's technical glitches. Okay, cool. So that brings us back to the comments section to find out what's going on with you guys. Sarah Dimmers says, "Hallo, Herr Antrim." Hallo. Let's see, we have Rimu says, "Hallo, hallo, Rimu." I would just like to start by saying, this, by the way, is Sean Turner's comment. I would just like to start by saying thanks for all your tutelage. I can't begin to tell you how helpful it's been. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, there's always a new video coming out every Monday. Every first Monday of the month is when we do these live streams, so you can ask questions and kind of pick up what's going on with me. But yeah, if you have questions, leave them in the comments down below, and we'll discuss whatever's going on in the world. Hallo, guten Abend. Ich bin aus Buenos Aires. Well, buenos dias to you out of Buenos Aires. Although that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. That's not the language. Anyway, so, but hallo, guten Tag, oder guten Abend. And lol, dude, that's funny. And what grade do you teach? So I teach at a high school. So I teach German 1 and 2 at the high school that I work at. So that's usually freshmen and sophomores, so 9th graders and 10th graders. I do have a few students who are either 11th graders or 12th graders, but for the most part, I would say probably 80% of my students are either 9th grade or 10th grade. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Any other questions? You can leave them down in the comments down below. In the meantime, let's switch over to, click this button. Yeah, that's the thing. That sounds all right. So this is my website. If you go to courses.germanwithantrim.com, that is my website. Under the Deutschlerner Club is the thing that you probably would get the most benefit out of if you are looking to really enhance your German learning skills. This is the place to go. It's the Deutschlerner Club. In this, I have basically every lesson that I've made over the last year and a half plus. I think I started in December of 2022, and every lesson that I have uploaded on a weekly basis since then has been uploaded to this page. And so you can, scroll down and find all of the info about it and whatever, but it is every single lesson that I've done since then. So if you're bored, you want to learn some German, that's a great place for you to pick up some extra German skills and stuff. Illinois, right. Yes, Sean Turner. I am teaching in Edwardsville, Illinois. So it's just over the Mississippi River from St. Louis, Missouri. So not quite far enough south to get a complete eclipse here in about a week, but it is far enough south to not be close to Chicago. So whenever somebody says, "Oh, you're from Illinois," and they're like, "That must be close to Chicago," and you're like, "Actually, no. It's like saying that you're from Berlin because you live in Bavaria. It's not a thing." But so I live in the southern half of the state of Illinois, near St. Louis, Missouri. So if you were to kind of throw a dart at the center of the United States, it would probably land pretty close to me. As if you kind of do a little cross in the middle of the United States, that's where I'm at, right where the two intersect. But yes, I live here in Illinois. Been teaching for 15 years. I started in 2009. This is the 2023-24 school year, so this is my 14th year, I want to say. That sounds right. I don't know. I've been here for long enough that I should not have to count anymore. But yeah. And Sean is from Minneapolis, so Minneapolis, Minnesota. Minnesota. I think we might be going to Minnesota, or are we going to Michigan and Wisconsin this summer? I don't know, one of the two. We're planning on going to somewhere up north this summer, probably do like a little loop around through Indiana and then up north and maybe hit Chicago on the way back home, just to kind of take a little road trip, because we generally do that every summer. Yeah, that's what's going on with me. Any other questions? Let's see. We have, I have discovered this channel and I look forward to learning German from your sources. Yes. Glad to have you aboard. I can't hold my poop. That is a fantastic YouTube name. I love that. Thank you very much for this, for sharing that. But anyway, so welcome aboard. Glad you stopped by and hung out and stuff. If you get bored, you can find these books on Amazon or on my website, germanwithantrim.com. But you can also find that via the Deutschlerner Club that I had mentioned earlier. It's on courses.germanwithantrim.com. Let's see. Pablo says the correct form would be Ich komme aus Buenos Aires, isn't it? It's my first time that I write in German. I'm studying German 10 days ago. Oh, so you've been learning German for 10 days, according to Pablo here, who lives in Buenos Aires. Yes, you could say Ich komme aus Buenos Aires, although it is technically okay to say Ich bin aus, but it's kind of an Americanized version or an anglicized version of saying I am from this place. Generally speaking, you do say Ich komme aus. Ich komme aus Berlin, ich komme aus Deutschland, ich komme aus wherever it is that you komme aus. Let's see, what else we got going on here? Go to... yes, upcoming projects of mine. Let's see, what do we got here? We have... Next week I have a podcast video coming out, so back to doing those. This one's kind of one of those listening repeat things. If you haven't checked out my podcast, it's not really a podcast. It's not the usual hipster style of podcast. It's not me talking to someone else. It is basically just, it's just me saying German words and phrases, and then you repeat them, and it's kind of a listen and repeat kind of thing, so that you can practice your pronunciation and practice your listening comprehension and all of those kinds of things. And it kind of works as like if you're on your way to work or you're listening to something else, you can do that. But that's what my podcast is. It's not really a podcast. I just call it that because I don't know what else to call it. So that's the name I gave it. But it's the Deutschlerner podcast. So if you get bored, you can check that thing out. That's coming out next week on Monday. Let's see. Sean Turner wants to know if these are also workbooks, and the answer is kind of. Let's see if I can find an example here. There we go. So at the end of chapter 4 in this book, for instance, I don't know if you can get that to focus. There we go. So you do have like fill in the blank kind of answers that are on here for that particular section. The alphabet one doesn't have anything. There is also like this one where you have to match the word to the image that matches it, and then this one where you're filling in the blanks with the correct verb version that goes with the sentence and that kind of thing. So there are exercises within this book, and then at the end of the whole thing there is an answer key list so that you can find all of those. The other one that's over here is my elementary book, my A2 book. Lots thicker, by the way. So if you're looking at the difference between how much information do I need to know for A1 versus A2, the answer is about that much. So it's a huge difference. But at any rate, this is my A2 book. It's really thick, and that's because every single chapter comes with its own exercises and answer keys and all of that. And so again, it has worksheets that are just printed into the book itself. There we go, autofocus. So you have, again, fill in the blank sentences, and here's a practice dialogue and that kind of thing. So there's all of those in there. the thing that makes this book slightly more unique than the previous one is that it also includes, this one comes with flashcards that are put together on Anki or Anki, A-N-K-I, that program. And it uses that program with my voiceover for any of the sentences that I use throughout the book as examples of stuff. So if you want to, use flashcards that are digital flashcards, which if you watch my video from about a week ago, you know that I don't actually recommend. But if you want to use digital flashcards, I do have those pre-made for the A2 book. The A1 book, I used it on Quizlet, so you can technically get digital flashcards for that. But I'm just not a huge fan of Quizlet anyway, at least not anymore. The way that they've structured their payment system is kind of annoying, so I stopped using them. But eventually I'll switch them over to Anki so that you can kind of import them to whichever kind of program you want to use. Let's see, what else do we have? Some intermediate help I need is when to use Daddy and Das. Have you made videos on those? That is a definite yes. In fact, I just did a mastering of German nouns thing. Shareable link, there we go. And I'll put that down here in the comments. So this is Daddy Das Help. And I will put that down in the comments so that you can find that. I did that video a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. It's been a minute. March 11th, actually, so almost a month ago, I uploaded that video. But it's kind of the genders of German nouns and how to use them, and how to know whether it's Daddy or Das and all of that. If you're looking for a masterclass in cases, for instance, I do have several of them that are masterclasses in the various cases. Let's copy this one first. Well, actually, I have a playlist about those. I can try that instead. Master classes. That's the one. Yes. So copy that link, and there's the case system masterclasses. So basically what I've done in the playlist that I just posted in the chat is I took the accusative case, the dative case, and the genitive case, and I broke them down into every single thing you could possibly think of that you're ever going to need about any of those cases. And I basically went through all of that into 3 different 1-hour-long videos. I'm actually currently working on an updated version of this, which will eventually become another book, and you can eventually see that soonish, I'm hoping. My original goal was to have this done by the end of March, but things got in the way, so I didn't get that accomplished. But I will be eventually publishing a really long course video that is a masterclass of the German case system, and I break down everything from what's a subject, what's a direct object, what is an indirect object, how do you use all of these things, what does that even mean in the grand scheme of the der, die, and the das, and I teach all of the things that are in there. I think I have maybe 3/4 of it recorded at this point, and I need to go back through and edit a few things of that, and then put together the video form of it, and then finish writing the book version of it, and put it all together. I'm hoping maybe by the end of this month, I'm going to be able to at least have the background information of stuff done. But I'll get there eventually. But it's a course that I'm working on. Let's see, what else we got? I've watched your Daddy and Das video. It's been very helpful forwarding my understanding, and all the other tutorials speak too fast. Is it me speaking too fast, or the other people are speaking too fast? I don't know. I get a lot of comments about how I speak too fast. and I don't know if that's a me thing or just that I have a ton of non-native English speakers who are watching my videos. So I don't know, whichever one that is. I apologize if it's me being too fast, but if it's somebody else being too fast, shame on them. They should know better. Let's see what else we have here in the comments. Vielen Dank. Can the books be purchased on Amazon? Yes. I believe there's a link down in the description for all of my books. I don't know, it's been a while since I looked at the description of any of my videos, but yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a link in the description for the... Oh, there we go. Link in the description for my books. Ah, yes, Herr Antrim's books on Amazon. And then it says germanwithantrim.com/recommend/Herr Antrim's books. So yes, it's available on Amazon. You can find those there. The books that are talking about over here, and the one that I dropped earlier is down there. There's also recommendations in there for books that you might like that aren't my books, but are definitely helpful books to have. And in fact, if you go to germanwithantrim.com, my website here, if you go there and just fill out this little form that says your name and your email. And unlike the Germans, I mean like your first name, you can put your first name, or you can put your last name, or you can just put a fake name. I don't really care. But put your name in there and tell me whether you are a teacher or a learner, and I will send you every resource that I recommend. And this would be everything from German learning books to websites I recommend, and apps I recommend, and flashcards, and all of the things. I have a ton of different stuff in there. I even break it down into reading, listening, and writing, and speaking, so that you can, find what kind of materials would work best for you. Again, all you have to do is fill out the little paper there, and I steal your email address. I don't steal any of your information. I just use that to try and sell you on my courses and stuff. So yeah, anyway, check that out if you want recommendations for books and all of that. So just real quick, I'm married, 45 years old, with 4 children. I always tell my children they spend too much time on their phones, and have literally never subscribed to a YouTube channel before you. Glad to be your first. Welcome aboard, Sean. Let's see, from your point of view, what is the best dictionary that you could recommend? When I personally look for a dictionary, usually I go to dict.cc. I have to move my screen a little bit so that you can see the website name. There we go. But dict.cc, that is a dictionary website that is made by, I believe it's a German university, but I could be wrong. But there are a few different things that I like about this. So for instance, if I just type in the word go, you will find a bunch of irritating answers to this. From any dictionary that you go to. So we have the very first ones up here are commands. They just say go, as in los, or gehe, or geh, or lauf. And they even have one down here which is Berlinerisch, Berlin dialect, which just says luf, luf, luf. The Berliners. Anyway, so these are all just ways of telling people to go. Then we have down here a list of other ways to say go. But what I like about this is that instead of just saying the verb to go, we also have off to the side here. There we go. We also have off to the side here what way they mean this. So to go in general is just gehen. Generally speaking, they mean this to be the walking version of going, but it could be whatever you want. Then we have to go by vehicle, which gives us the verb fahren. We have the colloquial version, which is to say. So we have sagen as the answer here, and that's because so I goes to my landlady and I says whatever. That's go in English slang. To go somewhere is hingehen, to go there. To go on a path, that is like, where does this path go? That's that version, which uses the verb führen. Anyway, the reason I like this is because it breaks it down into verbs first and gives you a list of verbs, but also gives you in parentheses context in which you would use each of these things. Then we have Substantive, which are nouns, and we have go as in the spot on a board game, and it just says go, which is wrong, but whatever. But then we have the game called Go. Sorry, I was thinking of the spot on Monopoly boards, which is Go in English, but Los in German. But we have other answers down here as well, and they all give you context. They have little phrases that go with them and that kind of thing. Super helpful website, dict.cc. That's the dictionary I usually use. The other one that I use is lingui.de. And that one is another fantastic website. Again, if you just type in Go, it gives you all of the things you would expect it to give you, but it gives you more than that as well. So for instance, here we have werden as a meaning to go, as in the milk has gone bad. And we have the verb werden at the end here for geworden. We have a bunch of example sentences using the verbs as they're shown, and then they also have translations of those sentences so you can figure out how that verb is being used. But what I really like about Lingui is that down below all of that are just versions of the verb to go in English that they stole from the internet and then just posted on here. So you have, this one says listentheword.org. And you have an English and a German translation off to the side of these. If you hit the little dot up there, these 3 dots will then give us the rest of that quote that is from that website. Same thing down here for Swiss banking. If you put your mouse over the 3 dots, it gives you the full context of how that verb is being used, and then it does again that side-by-side translation thing as before. So I think that's really cool. This one is lingui.de. And yeah, those are the 2 that I usually use for dictionaries. If you are looking for recommendations of paper ones, I don't know anyone who still uses a paper dictionary. Not even my students in my high school, because my high school students, I send them to these 2 websites, and both of them have apps. By the way, I also use the app on here for dict.cc, which is very basic. Whenever you look at it, it's just fill in whatever search thing you want to search for. So we search for Go, and it gives you, the same version of things. Of course, it's in dark mode because, dark mode is the best mode. But yeah, that's the same app. And then I believe I used to have Lingui on here too, but not anymore. But anyway, so they're great apps. They rarely ever crash, so I'm super excited about those. But if you're looking for a paper one, the only answer that I could have is the big yellow Langenscheitz. They have a fantastic German to English dictionary. It's kind of the only source that you would ever need for just a run-of-the-mill dictionary kind of thing. If you're looking for one that is not quite the usual thing. I've mentioned this probably every live stream now, actually, but this book is called Mastering German Vocabulary, a Thematic Approach. And I really like this one because if you're learning something about a topic in the German language and you want to know something more about there, so chapter 4 is all about shopping and going to various places, and so they have eating and cooking is a part of that in this section. So here we have meals and setting the table as an example of vocabulary, and they give you German and English side by side and all of that, the usual things that you're expecting. But they also give you like example sentences and all of in each of the categories, but they break down the dictionary instead of just having it alphabetical, and you just have like literally every word in the German language in there. We have topical lists of vocabulary instead. So I really like this book, but that is Mastering German Vocabulary, a Thematic Approach. But that's one, yeah. I always just have that one sitting around. Sometimes whenever I'm making like YouTube video scripts, if I want to make sure that I hit kind of the general realm of vocabulary that I want, I will use that as kind of a jumping off point. I will admit, though, I've used ChatGPT for a lot more of that. So if you just go to ChatGPT and say, give me 25 words that I should know about the German vocabulary around dining or going to a restaurant, and it will spit out 25 words that you need to know, and then say, give me an example sentence using each of those vocab words. Then it gives you an example sentence, and ChatGPT is pretty cool for that kind of thing. Let's see what else we have here for the comments. I'm utterly impressed. I had to go because my kids are tearing stuff up, but I'll keep watching your videos. All right, cool. Not you two speaking too fast, them. All right, cool. Thank you, Sean. Wait, one more question. Do you like die Toten Hosen? Yes, big fan of the Toten Hosen. I share some of their songs in my classes sometimes. Let's see, Hier kommt Alex is a fantastic example. And let's see, what is the An Tagen wie diesen, I believe is the song. An Tagen wie diesen, Tagen wie diesen. Is it Toten Hosen? I think it is. Yeah, Tage wie diese. No, don't want to get that copyright strike. But yeah, so that's the song that I was thinking of. That's kind of a new-ish one because that's 2012. But yeah, I like Die Toten Hosen. Slime or Die Ärzte? I do not know Slime, but Die Ärzte is fantastic. Fahren Urlaub has one of those faces that you like. I want to watch more of their music videos because Fahren Urlaub is just such a cool dude. So I love Fahren Urlaub all by himself on the Fahren Urlaub racing team is the name of his solo band. But I like him in there, and I also like him in Die Ärzte. Both fantastic groups. Deutscher punk rock music. Yes, in general, I usually listen to alt rock, that kind of genre of stuff. So anywhere from Hailstorm and Pretty Reckless and Shinedown and stuff like that in English, to I don't know, there's a band called Benzin in German. There's, of course, Rammstein and Oomph and the Böse Onkels and stuff like that. But yeah, big rock fan in general. I like the video for 10 kleine Jägermeister. It is a very funny video, one that I can't show in German class if I remember correctly. But yes, very funny video. I find that the alphabetical dictionaries to be too overwhelming, and separation of words by topic is much more digestible. Yes, absolutely. That's why I recommend this book, The Mastering German Vocabulary, A Thematic Approach. Not sponsored. Although if you use my link in the description, it's an affiliate link. So, you know, I'm a YouTuber, so what do you expect? Anyway, so yeah, that's it's much more digestible if you do it that way. I have all kinds of books over here that are good for you. Let's see. This one, if you like people making fun of the German language and how complicated it can be, Donna Newman from the YouTube channel Wanted Adventure, she has this book. It's called You Go Me on the Cookie, which, if you don't know, is kind of like German for You're Getting on My Nerves, for Du gehst mir auf den Keks. But it's all written in German, and it's a little bit more complicated. So if you're in that like B2, C1 range, then this is a great book for you. But otherwise, you know, it's still a great book anyway. What else do I have back here? I've used this one quite a bit. 1001 Pitfalls in German. This book is basically, it goes through like various grammar topics and says, you know, hey, watch out. This is the thing that usually trips people up. So, you know, check that out if you get bored. But yes. Yes, do not show that video in class. Big rock fan here as well. I'm seeing a band called Electric Callboy, a German metal band. Never heard of them, but all right, I'll Google them whenever I'm done with this live stream. Electric Callboy. All right. My favorite album now is actually the self-titled album from Improved Sound Limit in 1971. It's all sung in English. I also do not know Improved Sound Limited. Can't say that I've heard any of their stuff. Sorry, I'm not up on my 70s stuff. I had, back in the olden days, I had a list of bands in German that my students could do their projects on. So they have a project every year that is, they have to research a German band and then find out more about them, because basically everybody knows who Rammstein is, and then whenever it comes down to, learning anything about German music, they're just like, everything is Rammstein and everything is heavy metal and rock and stuff, which is definitely not. Let's see. Oh, Eisbrecher. Eisbrecher is a fantastic band. Love Eisbrecher. It's got that deep, deep voice that really brings it out for that one. Let's see. Benzin, Die Ärzte, Fahren Urlaub, Lauterleben, Luxuslärm, Madsen, Revolverheld. Yeah, I've always been a big fan of Revolverheld. Thomas Godoge. I think he doesn't get nearly as much recognition as he should. Thomas Godoge was the winner of the German, Deutschland sucht den Superstar, which is kind of like American Idol, but German version. But anyway, they had that competition over there, and Thomas Godoge won that in like 05 or 09 or 0 something. And yeah, he's fantastic. I'm a huge fan of his. Most of this is older stuff for my list of bands that I give to my students, because usually they're like, can I research some rap guy? And I was like, yeah, you can research rap, but just remind yourselves that you have to be able to play one of their songs in class, and that is almost never something you can do if it is a rap artist. So may have good music, but not something that I can have the administration sign off on. Like 70s krautrock. Oh, yeah, all right. So yes, I've been rambling for about 45 minutes now. Yep. Mm-hmm. I don't know, is there any other questions before I split out for the evening? Because at this point, I've been on here for about 45, almost 50 minutes, and I don't want to spend too much time. I still have to do lesson plans for tomorrow, so I actually have to go and teach and stuff. But we just got done with the spring break, so we had spring break all of last week, and then today is the last day of spring break for us. Or Frühlingspause or Osterferien, however you want to go about that. But yeah. Anywho, it's been fun. It's been real. Glad to see you all. Thank you for joining me. And I will see you on the next one. When is the next one? We have a next one coming up, right? There's always a next one. When is the next one? The live streams. The May live stream is May 6th. Yes, May the 6th. And that's the time when I'm talking about study skills and how to, get the best grade possible on your final exams. And I should know, because I'm the one who writes the exams. So if you want to join me for that, that's May 6th. That's the next time that I'm going to have one of these live streams.